What if content creation was a scam to sell advertising? Hi, this is Justin Hitt from Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. Now, I know most of you guys are seasoned copywriters, and you know that the whole content marketing scheme is to create work for copywriters and digital marketing agencies so that ultimately we can flood the internet with a lot of high quality content and articles, which of course Google's going to index and then sell advertising for. And then LinkedIn comes along and says, hey, if you post our articles here, we'll promote your profile. And of course, it can sell advertising there as well. If content marketing is a scam designed to get you to write a lot of content or get your clients to write a lot of content so that someone can sell advertising, then my question to you is, what would be the more valuable way for your customers to get the clients that they want? Now, think about this very carefully. Content marketing does deliver customers. It's a real roundabout way of doing it. It's like setting up a billboard in a town and hoping someone wanders past it and calls your office. And content marketing done the right way can actually position you as an authority in the marketplace. But unfortunately, most people snap up a YouTube video, record a podcast, or ultimately write a few articles for their blog, and then they stop there. What is that next step you could help your clients with so that they actually got the customers that they wanted? Now, they don't have to know how they got the customers. They might think that it's content marketing, and you might go and show them that content itself doesn't get customers. If content got customers, then every website would have all the traffic it wanted. If content got customers, then a little brochure that you got out of the back closet and used 5 years ago would still work today. The truth of it is content alone doesn't get customers. The communications of ideas and concepts about the benefits a customer receives taking specific action, that's what gets the customer. A prospect present close cycle is what gets a customer. It's the lead generation piece that offers some kind of report rather than just publishing the report online and hoping something happens. These are the value adds that you provide as a copywriter, marketer, or business development professional. One of the things that I did as a business development professional is I would actually write position papers and reports about some pretty complex equipment. And then I would get that in the hands of decision makers who bought that type of equipment. And very often I might review through research. I don't know how radar systems work completely, but I could review technical briefings and materials to create a short paper that I would then cover with some marketing points, and then I would put together a list and get that paper in front of the specific buyers. That paper would not get published on a website. That paper would not be freely available. In fact, it would be only available to those prospects that fit a specific criteria. Now, when you look at content creation that way, you see that content isn't just the blog article. The blog article is a setup for an opt-in that offers a report. The report is a setup for an appointment that presents a solution. The presentation of the solution is a setup for the buy. This is the value add that you can deliver to your customers. What if content creation? What if content marketing? What if that endless supply of quality articles and special reports was just a scam so that big companies can make money off of user-generated content? Now, I'm not going to talk about a conspiracy here. I'm going to talk about fact. The fact of the matter is creating content and posting it on your website, creating a newsletter and making it available for free, creating landing pages that nobody ever sees, or even writing ad content that is never used. None of that will get you customers. You can write 1,000 social media posts a day and not get the customers that you can by carefully testing those topics and then running those as paid advertisements on a medium that has customers that you want. Think about it this way. When I teach my topic testing system, where we use social media, articles, and public relations to test themes and concepts before we then present lead generation pieces specifically to target buyers, well, I'm using a strategic and systematic way to basically A/B split topics. So I'm testing content, but I'm also testing topics. So there might be 5 blog posts on one topic and 5 blog posts on a different topic. of those posts, half of the posts might go into, like 2 of the posts go to LinkedIn, an A/B at LinkedIn. 2 of the posts might go on Facebook or even be posted in a Facebook group. 2 of the posts might be someplace else in a trade journal or magazine as a guest post. All of these are coded. Now we have a 3-way test here. We have the A/B split of creative, and then we have the channel test. So we would also want to look at breaking those articles down into individual social media posts and then using those social media posts over time to reference to the articles on the different sites and then see which ones get the most click-through. It's not as complex as it sounds. It's just today with digital, you could do a lot more. But the most important part is, let's say you have 5 articles and you test which of these 5 articles produce the most leads. You can actually take that article, reformat it for a letter, buy a mailing list, send the letter to the mailing list, and you're likely to get similar results. Now, we're assuming you're doing some of the metrics here, but again, that's the value add that you deliver your customer. The metrics and measuring, the goal setting, the tracking of goals on a website or tracking of goals in an office. But my bottom line, folks, is as your customers create content, they're slowly going to realize that there's so much content out there in the regular world and that the majority of the content they create does nothing. I have websites that at one time had 500 unique visitors a day. They were generating 2 or 3 good quality leads every day. Every week, I'd get at least 1 paying customer. Those same websites, that same content, right now gets nothing. Literally 0 visitors someday. Now, over the course of the month, there could be 1,000 visitors because sometimes there's little bursts here and there. But ultimately, the search engines don't want stale content. And that's what they see, a content that's maybe 3 to 5 years ago, evergreen content, the kind of content you're supposed to be creating. They don't want to see that anymore. They want to see new, refreshed content. And now I'll admit, as an agency, there is value in helping your customer create a bunch of content because you're going to have to maintain that content. There's going to be broken links that need to be repaired. Right now, we're going through a big project where we're going through a content site and we're rewriting every article using Hemingway app to make sure readability is very, very good. And also there's some concepts and topics and some jargon language that we need to expand and make more clear to prospects. We're also strengthening the calls to action. So this is content that hasn't produced. This is content that gets no traffic. We're literally going through that content and doing a rewrite, but orienting it more towards a lead generation piece so it fits relevant keywords for today. Because remember, keywords that were relevant 2 years ago might not even be, there might be so much competition on that keyword from 2 years ago that nobody's going to talk on it. Well, do you create a new piece of content or do you rewrite or refurbish, recycle, as I say in my Recycle Your Marketing program, do you recycle that old content that's not getting any traffic? Well, it's up to you. It depends on the situation. What's the value add for your customer? For a couple of my clients, it is going through the website and anything that hasn't had any traffic, if it doesn't show up in the top 100 pages of content on their site in the last year, then it goes into the bin to get recycled. Now, the URL might stay the same, but what we often find out is it's broken links, it's little grammar errors and mistakes that maybe didn't get caught the first pass. It's maybe there's something broken on the page. For example, using like the Yoast SEO plugin, you'll find that there's a lot of things missing from a page, and you can go in and tune that page up. And then it may or may not get any traffic. We take that page that got 0 traffic, we test its topic, and then we're going to throw maybe 3 or 4 paid ads out there. We're going to throw 3 or 4 social media ads direct to the social media posts directly to the article. We might have quotes that we extract from it or tips we extract from it that we use in different channels. There might be a postcard campaign sent out. There could be an excerpt for a newsletter. And then we just see if that site has legs, that page has legs. Now, what does it mean for a page to have legs? Well, it means, does that page generate or does that content generate leads? Does that content generate sales? And that's pretty much it. Every page on your website, every piece of material that you create, everything must work hard in the business. It's not about positioning. It's not about exposure. It's not about building brand. And so when you talk about content and people are striving, they're getting the latest keyword tools and they're getting the latest content writing tools. I shared 2 of the tools here today. There are millions of these tools. None of that delivers the value that you can deliver as a copywriter, marketer, or business development professional. What is that value you can deliver? Well, it's customers. It's looking at that content beyond a few landing pages and saying, does this work? What works with this site? How do we make it work better? And it's that routine of going through the content over time to make sure we're curating the very best lead sources, the very best conversion mediums, and we're not just creating content to create content. If you watch how social media and how Google and how these big publishers curate what they allow in their publications, it is primarily focused on what helps them generate advertising revenue. If it's good enough for them to create advertising revenue, why not create content good enough for your clients to help them grow? That's what we're about here at Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. I want to get you resources and tools that help you grow your small agency or independent copywriting work. That is words that sell. That's testing headlines. And I'll leave with this, by the way. If you write an article for a customer that doesn't have 3 headlines to test, 3 social media posts, and 3 approaches for a lead piece, then you're doing a disservice to that customer. And what we're creating here is systems that produce leads, systems that produce customers, rather than simply content marketing. And if you think content marketing is like the holy grail, it's not. It's not. Now, information marketing is a different world. Information products is a different world. But ultimately, direct response copywriting is what transforms ordinary copy into outstanding leads and quality sales. Again, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. You can visit us at www.adbriefing.co.uk and ask all your questions there. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks for listening.